Any more questions?
I got one question. Malacca has introduced build then sell. Is there any likelihood of the Penang government to follow suit of the build then sell? Yes, Malacca is doing that.
But Malacca were talking about it. They can't.
It's national.
Because this is a
national.
It's governed by
Ministry.
the Ministry of Housing,
Multi-Purpose Act.
by the Act. So Malacca cannot do that.
So actually the Housing Ministry has to change the SMP agreement and all that. So yes, we got a standard SMP agreement. So we have not changed it yet. It's not true that they have introduced that. I think they clarified also later, isn't it?
There was just a thinking, just throw it out and talk about it, but no.
No, because the Pulau Malacca project, they did that.
That's a commercial project or housing development project. The Pulau Malacca project is
Commercial,
an
yeah.
abandoned project. So in order to generate confidence that this will not be abandoned again, I think it's a sort of a gimmick, a sales gimmick, but it is a commercial project. It's not a housing project. And I think this one was probably announced by the Chief Minister, is it?
Yeah, the Chief Minister.
So, but then it's more because that one is an abandoned project. But there is no build and sell. No, there's no build and sell in Malaysia. It's not enforced yet. It's not enforced yet because you got to amend the Housing Developers Act because the SMP agreement signed between the developer and the purchaser is governed by the federal law. It's governed by an act. So that agreement is required by law. That means every word there you must comply. So that has not changed. If that has not changed, you cannot do the build and sell concept. But the commercial, that's different. Then it's up to the individual developer. But in that case, Pulau Malacca, because it was abandoned for 20 years, it was developed for 20 over years.
30 years.
I suppose
wanted to
you want to revive a project. You want to revive a project. Maybe you have to come up with a new gimmick. Otherwise people will just think that let's wait and see.
Because they want to build more. They want to build more. So they say, oh, we only build and sell. Which, even if they don't say it, people will not buy until it's completed. First of all, it was abandoned for, like what you say, 30 over years. So I think that is a special case. Which they don't have a choice also. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So leave it to Jagdeep. He got a press conference. He got to talk about this. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Very short press statement. I've already prepared and distributed. Basically, it's in relation to the statement by Dato' Zainal Abidin just before the Chinese New Year on Tuesday last week, that actually 34 projects had been approved under TP1 Malaysia in Penang since 2012. And in fact, some press even went to the extent of saying, get my facts right, Action Council tells Jagdeep. It is the Star. In fact, I made a press statement and the Star was present on the Sunday before this was printed. It went up on Facebook, but Star didn't print it. Star had my side of the story, but still, this is the heading. So I have in fact verified the facts, and this is my statement, a very good one. So I refer to the Federal Action Council Chairman Dato' Zainal Abidin Osman's statement as reported in the media. This statement actually was prepared on Tuesday, so actually not today, it was Tuesday. And I'm somewhat surprised by the facts announced by him as regards the status of applications and approvals under TP1M, as the records with the Commissioner of Buildings Office under both local authorities, namely MPPP and MPSP, reflect otherwise. As far as MPPP is concerned, in 2013, only one application was approved. That is as stated. And in 2014, a total of 10 projects was approved, as also stated. Out of these applications approved under TP1M, and as informed to the Penang State Government and the Federal Government, the Penang State Government, under its Housing Assistance Program of Penang Yes Happy, has allocated a balance sum to be paid for the residents, namely a total of 1.287895. That's 1.2 million. Now for MPSP, our record shows in 2013 there was one application under TP1M as stated, and for 2014 there were 3 applications under TP1M approved by the federal government and as informed to the Penang State Government, as stated, 3 projects. And for these projects, the Penang State Government contributed a total sum of 1.166856, 1.1 million ringgit, to top up the balance to be paid by the residents. Now, our latest records show that apart from the 15 projects approved as stated above, both in MPPP and MPSP, a total of 129 other projects have not been approved. Dato' Zainal Abidin must explain why have these outstanding projects, as per our records, not been approved. In fact, Penangites who pay the 3rd highest amount of taxes in the country demand that these outstanding applications be approved forthwith. It should be noted, on top of this, that at the Penang State Housing Executive Council MMK Perumahan meetings held by me monthly, as far back as 27 February last year, I have instructed, due to the delay in the approval of TP1M applications from Penang, I have instructed the COB of both the local authorities to write to the Implementation Coordination Unit ICU of the PM's department, which oversees the TP1M program, requesting to be updated as regards the applications made by the various projects in Penang to TP1M and the rate of approval of these applications. So it's not just that we have our records, but we have in fact been proactive and written to them, asking them to update us and requesting them to approve. In those letters, I've also appealed that outstanding applications that had yet to be approved expeditiously, without any further delay, as they involve projects of a critical nature. And we have been sending reminders in relation to those letters right up to the last Penang State Housing Executive Council Committee meeting in January this year. The last letter being the 16th of January by the COB of both MPPP and MPSP after our meeting. So it should be noted that we have never been informed of the numbers as stated by Dato' Zainal Abidin to the media. And in the circumstances, I would advise Dato' Zainal Abidin to liaise with the ICU in the PM's department to respond officially to us in relation to our numerous reminders in the clearest of terms as to exactly how many applications by Penang have been approved and implemented under TP1M. Now, this is of utmost importance, as the Penang State Government proves to be one of the only states in Malaysia that has a fund, namely under the Happy program, which will bear the balance 10% and 30% respectively to be paid by the residents of the projects that have applied for TP1M. Now, I say this, it would be very and highly disappointing if, by the failure of the federal government to inform the state government of the approvals and implementations of projects under TP1M, the residents of those projects have to suffer by paying from their own pockets the balance 10 and 30%, when in fact the Penang State Government stands ready at all times to contribute that sum on their behalf under the Happy program. So this is my very brief press statement and response to what Dato' Zainal has said. Our records are very clear. I have confirmed with the COB, because the COB basically, when a project wants to apply for TP1 Malaysia, it applies for it through the Commissioner of Buildings Office. So they will have a record of all the applications, and they have a record also of all the approvals. So we have, these records are the records in the Penang State Government. So that's why Dato' Zainal has advised, ask the ICU to officially respond to us. I say that we will be very disappointed, and on behalf of the residents of those projects that we have not been informed, that means they directly through ICU implement the projects, they would have collected the 10 and 30% from those residents, which is unfair. You inform us, we are ready. Our Happy Fund stands at 50 million. So we have the the monies to contribute to these low cost, low medium cost residents who really need assistance.